we're very happy with these results. So for instance, we hit high grade, which we typically do at Corner Bay. We had some results over 5% copper, over 3% copper, and then 2.5% copper. We had one of the highest grade gold intercepts that we've ever had at Corner Bay at 0.87 grams per ton. So that just increases the copper equivalent.
When it comes to mining stocks, precious metals, and cryptos, you need to go to Mining Stock Wealth. And welcome, this is Kerry Lutz, and you are watching Mining Stock Wealth. You know, one of my favorite things to do is to bring you good news about our sponsor companies. And lately, Dore Copper has had a lot of good news. And what you're about to hear is hot off the press. Dore's 2020 and recent 2021 drill programs have hit their mark. The plan was well thought out and meticulously executed. And now we've got CEO Ernie Mast with us now. Ernie, it's great to have you back on. You got to be a happy person right now.
Thanks, Kerry. Great to be on. And we're very excited to have the press release come out showing the results of our work from 2021 on the Corner Bay deposit, where we did a really extensive program of 17 holes and 13,250 meters up to April 30th. That program continues to go, and it's probably going to grow to 16,000, 17,000 meters.
Yeah, which is an impressive number. Hey, the results that you've gotten here, really high grade copper, expands the Corner Bay resource and really makes it the cornerstone of the entire project. On a scale of 1 to 10, how significant are these drill results?
Well, of course, we all love to say 10, but you can always do better. But we're very happy with these results. So for instance, we hit high grade, which we typically do at Corner Bay. We had some results over 5% copper, over 3% copper, and then 2.5% copper. We had one of the highest grade gold intercepts that we've ever had at Corner Bay at 0.87 grams per ton. So that just increases the copper equivalent. But really the most significant thing about these results is the fact that we are extending the ore body, the southern main vein, the main vein to the south. We're extending it by over 200 meters with this drilling, and the structure is wide open. So really, there's a lot of blue sky potential, and the results continue to show the growth of the deposit. We're pretty confident that the deposit will be over 5 million tons and stay over 3% copper. You can count the number of deposits with those two characteristics on one hand.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, as far as comparing it to your 2019 43-101, a substantial increase, isn't it?
Correct. So we're anticipating an increase of over about 65% in terms of the resources with the drilling that we've done in the last couple of years. And the deposit remains open in numerous directions. So we will continue to drill the deposit, and the deposit will continue to grow. However, we feel that it's good for us to do a resource update, which should be ready in early Q3. And that resource update will demonstrate the drilling, say, up to this drill program that we're doing, that we've announced here.
Yeah, well, really great results. You know, when we spoke a couple of months ago, a month or two, this is exactly what you promised was going to happen. And I guess Corner Bay is an integral part of the hub and spoke program. It maybe is the biggest spoke, huh?
That's correct. Yeah. And when you think of it, if we're able to get to over 5 million tons here, and we're mining at 1,000 to 1,500 tons a day, Corner Bay is looking like a 15-year mine. And that's wonderful because it can be the integral part of the hub and spoke operation. And some of our other mines, which may be a little smaller, can also feed into the mill. But we've got this continued ore flow from Corner Bay for 15 years. And that's a wonderful achievement.
It's a great achievement. And as we discussed last time, you're going to be reactivating a number of mines that have been on care and maintenance or worse over the years. How is that going to fit into the program now with the added resource?
Yeah, so really what we're focusing on is getting Corner Bay up and running first, and then some of these other deposits can come in afterwards. So we'll have to sequence the mines through the mill. Obviously, we start with Corner Bay and it may continue to grow. So we finish off with Corner Bay as well. But in the meantime, some of our other deposits, such as Joman, Cedar Bay, Devlin, Copper Rand, are going to find their way into the mine plan over the life of mine. And we have other deposits on top of that and other acquisition opportunities in the camp. But right now, our plate's pretty full with what we have.
Right. Yeah. Well, you've had a busy drill season this year and last. Hey, what's going on with the assay labs? Have you been hit by the delays like everyone else?
Yes, we have. And you can see that in the table in the press release where we're still awaiting a couple of assays. For instance, hole 34 is a really interesting intercept where it lies between the deep lens and the main vein lens beneath the dike. We're expecting an interesting result there. And then above the dike, we had a number of hits that are going to increase the size of the resource, and we're waiting for a couple of assays there. So we continue to drill. So in our next press release, which we expect in say a couple of months' time, we're going to release the drill results as they come in. And then we'll have some new holes to report on because we're continuing to test the ore body towards the south.
All right. So as far as the stock goes, Dore's stock, any anticipated upside from this latest news release?
I believe the market should look at this very favorably in that the realization of the 5 million tons, if you look at the current 43101 and you visualize the addition that this is going to represent, you get a pretty good sense that we should be there. And also, this will portend to the future exploration potential of that deposit. One thing which I hadn't mentioned yet is some of the results that we've releasing are for the west zone. So this is a vein 400 meters to the west of the main vein. We're going to be able to put together an initial mineral resource estimate on that structure based on this drilling. It's not going to start out big, but just kind of shows you that even at Corner Bay, there's exploration potential on top of the main vein, which we're very excited about.
As well you should be. And really, when you look at it, all your experience was telling you this is where it's at. This is a great project. There's always naysayers out there, but in the end, success is the best revenge, right?
That's right. No, it's really good to have this result. The assays consistently average over 3% copper, so that gives us confidence that as we grow to the deposit, we'll keep the grade over 3%. And as I mentioned before, there are very, very few copper deposits with over 3% copper grade, and we're one of them. And we have no impurities as well, so it's really a really good ore deposit, and it's going to be a great deposit to act as kind of the key deposit in our hub and spoke operation.
Yeah. Well, it's always great when a plan comes together. And I guess we should reemphasize the fact that the infrastructure is great. Chibougamau being right there, workforce, all of these factors that are working in your favor.
Yeah, no, definitely correct. We do have a head start with other type of greenfield projects because we're a brownfield project and we have the infrastructure in place. We're in a great jurisdiction, the province of Quebec. Our mines are really they're almost all built. The mill's in place. We've got a very high grade key deposit. We have other deposits that also are high grade. They're a little smaller, but they can fit in and tuck in nicely with this Corner Bay deposit for our hub and spoke operations. So really, the company has, we check a lot of boxes, and in fact, we check all the boxes. And other companies don't check all the boxes that we check. And that's one of the distinguishing factors that investors should recognize when looking for a copper investment during these really, really supercharged copper times.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that in a moment. Hey, just one other thing. And you have no permitting issues because you're reactivating mines, brownfields, right?
Correct. Well, the permitting will be easier than a greenfield, but we do have to go through the permitting process, and that will take a year to two to do. And so we do have to go through the process. However, as you mentioned, the fact that it's a brownfield and we're reactivating mines should make the process simpler.
Okay. And that's great. And yeah, we would be very remissful if we didn't talk about the action, what's been happening in copper lately. We've seen all-time record prices.
Correct. And it's very interesting because there's some parallels to what's happening now with what happened after the financial crisis in 2008. So we saw the copper price really get to its not its all-time low, but a very low value in late 2008. Started recovering in 2009. Then 2011, 10, 11, and 12, we had very, very robust copper prices where the price hit a record at the time of $4.50. But then it retracted and got down to under $3 and hit even $2.20. And we're just coming out of it. We started coming out of it after the pandemic. So there's definitely kind of a rebound effect occurring now. However, we really think the fundamentals of copper are much stronger now than they were in 2010, 11. They weren't able to sustain prices at that point. During this run, a lot of macro elements are in place for a sustained run of copper. Everyone's really happy as a producer when the price of copper is over $4. We're actually approaching $5 now. And so it's pretty exciting for all copper producers and developers. And because of the kind of structural transformation in the transportation industry, the renewable power industry, we see copper demand being quite strong for years to come. And then on the supply side, as we all know, large mines are being depleted, very difficult to get new mines into operation. Scrap supply is drying up due to these really high prices that are in play now. So all these elements are working together for a real sustained copper bull run. And hopefully our company is able to take advantage of that by getting into production in about 2 or 3 years.
Great point. I mean, I've heard numbers. I mean, they're all over the map. $6, $8, $10, $15 copper. If we just hit $8 copper, what does that do for Dore?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, we'll be, our operating costs will still be under $2 a pound or under $1.50 a pound. So you can imagine the margins that we would have. So definitely it would make ourselves, but also nearly every producer extremely, extremely profitable. Obviously, those super high prices aren't sustainable, but these current prices are very healthy for the copper producers.
For sure. You saw it coming. You started putting this together when copper wasn't such a favored asset class. And now here we are, the plans come together. You really got to go over, take a look at dorecopper.com. Sign up for the notifications. I should mention the ticker symbols in the US, DRCMF, in Canada, DCMC. If you got any questions for Ernie, just send an email to my personal email address, kl@kerrylutz.com, and we'll get you an answer, we promise. Ernie, hey, that's great news. We're really thrilled for you. And I look forward to following up with you again in a month or two and getting the next gem, because I'm sure it's going to be a real gem.
Thank you very much, Kerry. Thanks to all the listeners, and stay tuned. We should have more good news coming.
Mining Stock Wealth.